that successful entrepreneurs use and nobody told you.
Did you know that 80% of entrepreneurs give up before they succeed because they lack speed? What if I told you that there are strategies that can make your business grow in weeks, not years? The secret is not in working harder. It's in scaling smartly. In this video, I'll show you how to accelerate your results in a safe, strategic, and profitable way. And the last secret is the most powerful of all. Stay until the end.
Chapter 1: The Myth of Slow Growth.
For decades, it was believed that business growth should be gradual, step by step, like a ladder built with patience. This idea was reinforced by stories of companies that took years to achieve success. But what if I told you that this belief is holding you back? That growing slowly is not a rule and can even be a strategic mistake? The business world has changed. Speed has become a competitive advantage. Companies that grow quickly are not just lucky. They follow very well-defined, tested and validated strategies. Rapid growth today is possible, realistic, and more than that, necessary. Time is the most valuable asset for any entrepreneur. A recent study by the McKinsey Global Institute showed that companies that accelerate growth in the first years are up to 70% more likely to remain profitable and stable in the following years. This means that speed and sustainability can go hand in hand, as long as there is planning. Growing quickly is not about taking a leap in the dark. It's about making bold but smart decisions. It involves focusing on high-impact actions, eliminating waste, automating processes, strategic marketing, and a mindset focused on scale. It all starts with a change in beliefs. Stop thinking that growing slowly is safer. Many entrepreneurs sabotage themselves by thinking small. They want to test, experiment, feel safe, and end up stuck in endless cycles of preparation. Meanwhile, others who understand the game are accelerating, gaining market share, and consolidating positions. What separates these two profiles is the willingness to act quickly and consistently. Think of startups that exploded from one year to the next. They didn't have all the resources in the world, but they had clarity, agility, and focus on metrics that matter. They avoided distractions, and most importantly, they made quick decisions. This is the game of accelerated growth. And most importantly, growing quickly doesn't mean losing control. This is a common objection. But in fact, uncontrolled growth is a consequence of a lack of planning, not speed. A well-prepared company can scale with balance and maintain quality as long as it has solid processes and an aligned team. You can start now without waiting years. It is possible to apply strategies that double your revenue, optimize your operation, and put you on the map in your niche. The important thing is to understand that slowness is not synonymous with safety, and that wasted time can cost more than any risk. In this video, you will discover the pillars that really drive accelerated growth. We will talk about market differentiation, sales acceleration, strategic marketing, and how to set up a scalable structure without needing large investments, all based on real, applicable, and proven practices. And remember, growth does not happen by chance. It is planned, nurtured, and executed with discipline. If you want to break out of the average and take your business to a new level, you need to change your mindset. Let go of the fear of speed and embrace the power of quick decisions, assertive strategies, and constant action. This is just the beginning. In the next chapters, we'll dive into the most effective strategies to accelerate results and completely transform the course of your business. Stay with me until the end. The last secret I'll reveal is, without a doubt, the most powerful of all.
Chapter 2: Finding your business's growth engine.
Finding your business's growth engine. Every fast-growing company has a hidden engine behind it. We're not talking about luck, the founder's charisma, or a brilliant idea. We're talking about a growth engine, an internal system that, when well-tuned, drives the business forward almost automatically. And your business can have one too. But what exactly is this engine? It's the combination of efficient acquisition channels, a product or service that solves a real problem, and an experience that turns the customer into a brand advocate. When these three elements align, growth stops being a painful effort and becomes a natural consequence. Companies like Dropbox, Airbnb, and Nubank quickly discovered their growth engines. They understood where the leverage points were, and instead of scattering efforts across dozens of strategies, they focused on one that really moved the needle. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just need to find your business's traction point. The common mistake most entrepreneurs make is wanting to grow on all sides. They try paid ads, organic marketing, social media, partnerships, affiliates, all at the same time, and they end up exhausted, not knowing what really works. The secret is to find out which channel brings the highest return with the least effort, and then scale that channel. A good growth engine is measurable. You can know how much you invest and how much you get back. You can predict results and adjust variables. It's not trial and error, it's applied science. This requires you to understand your key metrics: CAC, customer acquisition cost; LTV, customer lifetime value; ROI, return on investment. Without these, it's like driving in the dark. To find your engine, you need smart testing. Create hypotheses based on your data, validate with small experiments, and watch the signals. Which channel brings in more qualified customers? Which approach generates more conversion? Which product has better retention? These answers don't come from intuition, they come from analysis. Another key point: the growth engine needs to be replicable. If you rely exclusively on your presence, your schedule, or your charisma, it won't scale. A business with the potential for accelerated growth needs to function without the owner being involved in every step. Automation, standardization, and delegation are words that should be part of your vocabulary. And be careful. The best channel today may not be the best tomorrow. The market changes, consumer behavior changes. Therefore, in addition to finding your engine, you need to monitor and adjust it frequently. Accelerated growth requires you to always be one step ahead, not only in what you do, but in how you think. A practical example: imagine that your company has a digital product and you discover that organic traffic from YouTube generates 80% of your sales. This is a clear sign that your engine may be in the creation of video content. In this case, your energy should be focused on expanding this front. More videos, SEO, partnerships with similar channels. The secret is to do more of what works. But remember, rapid growth doesn't mean skipping steps. You still need structure, delivery, customer support, and quality. The engine accelerates, but you need brakes, steering, and fuel. This is what separates smart growth from irresponsible growth. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into strategies to scale your sales with agility and intelligence. We will explore funnel models, fast conversion techniques, and how to sell more without proportionally increasing your costs. The path is increasingly clear, and the best is yet to come.
Did you like these strategies to achieve financial freedom? Then leave a like and subscribe for more content that will transform your life.
Chapter 3: How to scale sales without increasing costs.
Scaling a business doesn't just mean selling more, it means selling more intelligently while maintaining or reducing your costs per sale. This is where many entrepreneurs get lost. They increase revenue, but costs grow at the same rate or even faster. The result? Crushed margins and an unsustainable business. The secret to accelerated growth is finding ways to scale sales without costs growing at the same rate. It sounds simple, but it requires a change in mindset. You need to stop exchanging time for money and start creating systems that work for you. One of the most powerful strategies for this is automating the sales process. Automation tools, such as sequential emails, chatbots, smart funnels, and CRMs, allow you to sell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This means you can reach more customers with less operational effort. Plus, using content as a sales engine is a highly scalable tactic. A well-made video, an optimized sales page, or a well-structured SEO article can sell for months, or even years, without you having to redo it. It's the famous "once you work, you reap forever" idea. Another key point is to increase the average ticket value. Many entrepreneurs focus on selling more units but forget that it's possible to grow by selling better. Offer upgrades, premium plans, packages, or complementary services. A customer who buys more in a single transaction generates more profit without increasing the acquisition cost. And this is where the power of recurrence comes in. If your business allows subscriptions or monthly plans, you create a constant revenue stream. This reduces the pressure for new sales and gives predictability to your cash flow. Digital products, mentoring, subscription clubs, SaaS, all are ways to transform a single sale into continuous revenue. We can't forget the concept of upselling and cross-selling. When done well, these strategies drastically increase revenue per customer. Think about how Amazon does this. Customers also bought or complete your order with. This type of suggestion is simple but highly profitable. And the best part, you can apply this even to small businesses, from an information product to a physical store. All you need to do is structure the purchasing journey intelligently, offering the right product at the right time to the right customer. Another factor that sets businesses that scale quickly apart is making the most of their customer base. Many entrepreneurs are obsessed with attracting new leads and forget that old customers are easier and cheaper to convert again. Good after-sales service, re-engagement campaigns, and exclusive offers for the base are strategies that generate profit at a much lower cost. To grow without increasing costs, you also need operational efficiency. This means reviewing processes, eliminating waste, and using technology to gain scale. Automate what is repetitive. Outsource what is not. Strategic. Invest time in what really moves the needle. And of course, monitor metrics closely. Knowing your CAC, LTV, and ROI is not a luxury. It is survival. Smart growth requires decisions based on data, not guesswork. Tools like Google Analytics, RD Station, Hotmart Analytics, and even well-made spreadsheets can give you a clear view of what's working. Selling more at a lower cost is an art, but it's an art that can be learned. With strategy, structure, and focus on what really matters, you can transform an ordinary business into a profitable sales machine. And believe me, it's within your reach. In the next chapter, we'll dive into strategic alliances and partnerships that can multiply your results. Because sometimes, growing faster just depends on teaming up with the right people.
Chapter 4: The Power of Strategic Partnerships and Networking.
Growing alone is possible, but growing quickly? That requires connections. Strategic partnerships and good networking can open doors, accelerate results, and reduce years of trial and error. While many focus only on improving products or campaigns, great entrepreneurs invest in alliances. Strategic partnerships are like shortcuts. They allow you to access already established audiences, ready-made infrastructures, resources that would take months or years to develop. And the best part, without the need for large investments. A classic example is co-branding. Two brands come together to create something exclusive, leveraging the strength of both. This expands reach, strengthens reputation, and generates exponential sales. Imagine a startup brand partnering with an authority company in the market. Trust is transferred automatically. Another powerful form is affiliates and distribution partners. By setting up a partnership program with attractive commissions, you turn other people into promoters of your business. They sell for you, you profit together. It's a win-win game that can scale in incredible ways. Now, when we talk about networking, we're talking about more than just making friends. Strategic networking is about building relationships with people who have the resources, knowledge, or audience you need. And the key here is not asking, it's offering value first. When you position yourself as someone who contributes, who delivers genuine value, you stand out. Successful people like to connect with those who add value, not those who just want to take advantage. Be helpful, be trustworthy, and always be ready to help. Events, masterminds, conferences, mentoring groups, all of these environments are fertile ground for powerful connections. But the real magic happens post-event. Stay in touch, nurture. The relationship, exchange ideas. Big business comes from simple conversations. Partnerships can also come from satisfied customers. Don't underestimate the power of word of mouth. Happy customers become fans. Fans become promoters. Encourage referrals, create rewards programs, and turn your audience into an extension of your sales team. Another strategic point: influencers and micro-influencers. You don't need to invest a fortune in celebrities. Partnerships with people who have authority in specific niches can bring incredible results at a low cost. They speak to the right audience in a genuine way, and this generates real conversion. And remember, partnerships are not just external. Internal partnerships within the team itself also accelerate growth. Having complementary partners, engaged collaborators, and mentors by your side makes all the difference. Alone, you can even go faster. But with the right people, you will go further, and with much more strength. Great companies didn't grow with capital alone. They grew with alliances, with market intelligence, with relationships. Apple had Microsoft as a partner. McDonald's only exploded when it partnered with franchisees. Every story of rapid growth has alliances behind it. The secret is to choose well. The wrong partnerships drain energy. The right partnerships drive things forward. Analyze values, purposes, and expectations before entering into any alliance. And always formalize agreements. What starts out informal can become a problem if it's not clear. Building an empire starts with building bridges. Every person you meet, every connection you cultivate, could be the missing link to scale. Your company. It's time to get out of the bubble and connect with the world. In the next chapter, we'll close with a flourish. How to maintain sustainable growth in the long term without losing control, quality, or the essence of your business. If you want to grow fast and smart, you can't miss this part.
Want to achieve wealth and freedom? Start now. Leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next tips.
Chapter 5: Sustainable Growth, Scaling Without Losing Control.
Growing fast is a victory. Maintaining this growth without losing control is the real challenge. Many businesses scale so fast that they collapse from within. There is a lack of structure, planning, organization. It is not enough to accelerate you need to be ready to handle the speed. The first critical point is process management. When your company is growing, you need to standardize, create systems, document procedures. You cannot rely solely on your team's memory or experience. Everything that is done needs to have a clear, replicable, and scalable process. This prevents errors, trains new employees more quickly, and ensures quality. Think about franchises. They grow quickly because everything is standardized. From customer service to product, everything follows a proven model, and that is what you need to build in your company, even if it is still small. Next comes solid financial management. Rapid growth requires working capital, strict control of cash flow, and a strategic vision of investments. Many business owners confuse increased revenue with increased profit, and this is a fatal mistake. Growth brings costs, hiring staff, more inventory, more structure, more taxes. If you don't have meticulous control over your income and expenses, you'll go into debt thinking you're prospering. Sustainable growth requires financial intelligence. Another essential point is organizational culture. As the team grows, the culture needs to be clear, inspiring, and lived every day. This is what will keep the company cohesive, even with many people involved. Absent leaders lose the pulse of the business. Present leaders create strong roots. Invest in training, internal communication, and rituals that reinforce the company's values. Remember, culture eats strategy for breakfast. You can have the best plans. If the team isn't aligned, nothing happens. Monitoring metrics is another pillar of healthy growth. Performance indicators, KPIs, show you what's working and what needs adjustments. Sales, customer satisfaction, acquisition cost, conversion rate, churn, all of this needs to be closely monitored. And just as important as measuring is adjusting quickly. Companies that grow quickly are agile. They test, measure, correct. Don't dwell on mistakes. Adaptability is the soul of scalability. And yes, you need to learn to delegate. Entrepreneurs who want to control everything limit the growth of their own business. Build a strong team, train well, trust and monitor the results. When you take your focus off operations and start thinking strategically, the company breathes and expands. It's also time to think about technology and automation, management tools, CRM, marketing automation, automated service. All of this saves time, reduces errors, and increases productivity. Technology is your ally in scaling. But perhaps the biggest challenge of rapid growth is maintaining quality and purpose. The pressure for results cannot destroy the essence of the business. Keep delivering value, keep listening to the customer, keep taking care of your reputation. Many companies forget the basics when scaling. The customer, they are the source of growth. Keep delighting, listening, improving. Growing without focusing on the customer is growing only to fall. Finally, have experienced mentors and advisors. Growing fast involves difficult decisions, and you don't have to go through it alone. Having people who have already walked this path by your side is a powerful shortcut. Sustainable growth is a daily construction. There is no magic, but there is consistency. And now that you know the pillars, positioning, marketing, product, partnerships, processes, and leadership, you are ready to grow more with intelligence and control. The growth you want is within your reach. And in the next video in the series, we will show you how to avoid the mistakes that most often stop entrepreneurs along the way. Mistakes that can destroy dreams, but that you will learn to avoid with clarity. Stay with us. The journey to wealth requires speed, but also direction. You have already accelerated. Now it is time to move forward with wisdom. Accelerating your company's growth is not a race against time, but a journey of intelligence, strategy, and courage. Each step you take consciously brings you closer to exponential and sustainable results. Now that you know the paths to solid growth, the choice is in your hands. Continue on autopilot, or take the wheel of your own successful journey. It doesn't matter how big your company is today. What matters is where it can go with clear direction and consistent action. The next level is already waiting for you. Take the first step. And remember, your growth begins when you decide to break out of stagnation. Let's go together.